Welcome to UPSC Explainer. Today, we are going to discuss NCERT Class 6, Chapter 4, What Books and Burials Tell Us? Can you tell what are the Vedas, and why are they significant? The Vedas are ancient Indian scriptures, and they are significant, as they constitute one of the oldest literary sources in the world. They offer insights into the spiritual, cultural, and social practices of ancient India. The Vedas include the Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda, with the Rigveda being the oldest, composed about 3,500 years ago. Who composed the hymns in the Rigveda, and what do they signify? The hymns in the Rigveda were composed by sages or rishis. These hymns, also called sukta or well said, are in praise of various gods and goddesses like Agni, the god of fire, Indra, a warrior god, and Soma, associated with a sacred drink. They signify the ancient beliefs, rituals, and social structures of the Vedic civilization. How was the knowledge of the Vedas transmitted initially, and in what language are they written? Initially, the knowledge of the Vedas was transmitted orally. Priests taught students to recite and memorize each syllable, word, and sentence with great care. The Rigveda is written in Old or Vedic Sanskrit, which is different from the contemporary Sanskrit learned in schools today. Are there any dialogues in the Rigveda? Can you give an example? Yes, some hymns in the Rigveda are in the form of dialogues, like the dialogue between sage Vishwamitra and the rivers, Beas and Satluj, which were worshipped as goddesses. In this dialogue, Vishwamitra asks the rivers to allow him and his followers to cross safely, to which the rivers agree. What is the significance of cattle, horses, and chariots in the Rigveda? In the Rigveda, there are many prayers for cattle, children, especially sons, and horses. Horses were yoked to chariots, used in battles which were often fought to capture cattle. Cattle, horses, and chariots signify the socio-economic and cultural importance of these entities in the Vedic society. How do historians study the Rigveda, and why is it important? Historians study the Rigveda by examining the hymns, which often describe the societal structure, religious beliefs, and material culture of the time. Studying the Rigveda is important, as it provides insights into the early Vedic civilization's thoughts, beliefs, and way of life. Were there any social differences in the Vedic period, as inferred from the Rigveda? Yes, there were social differences, as evidenced by the differing amount of objects found in graphs, suggesting varying statuses amongst the people. The Rigveda mentions priests or Brahmins and Rajas, indicating a distinction based on occupation and social standing. What are megaliths, and what do they signify? Megaliths are large stone boulders, used to mark burial sites, originating around 3,000 years ago. They are found throughout the Deccan, South India, in the northeast, and Kashmir. Megaliths signify ancient burial practices and possibly denote regions or families' communal or shared burial sites. Were languages like Sanskrit isolated in their development, or did they have commonalities with other languages? Sanskrit is part of the Indo-European family of languages, sharing commonalities with several Asian and European languages like Hindi, Persian, English, and Greek. These languages are believed to have originated from a common ancestral language, explaining the similarities in words like Matra, Sanskrit, Ma, Hindi, and Mother, English. What can we infer about social differences from archaeological finds at burial sites? Archaeological finds at burial sites often reveal disparities in the number and types of objects buried with the dead, suggesting social differences. For example, some skeletons are found with gold beads, bangles, and elaborate pots, indicating higher status, while others have fewer accompaniments, suggesting a lower status. How were the practices in the Harappan civilization different from those mentioned in the Rigveda? The Harappan civilization had a well-organized urban planning, elaborate drainage systems, and uniform architectural structures, reflecting a centralized authority and advanced urban life. In contrast, the Rigveda reflects a society primarily composed of semi-nomadic tribes, with emphasis on pastoral and agricultural life, focusing on cattle rearing and related activities. The practices mentioned in the Rigveda are more rustic and less urbanized compared to the sophisticated, urban culture of the Harappans. What is the significance of animals in the Vedic period, as seen in the Rigveda? animals held immense significance in the Vedic period. Cattle were particularly valued, as they were a principal source of wealth, and their possession indicated prosperity and well-being. Horses were crucial for warfare and transportation, and their significance is evident from the numerous hymns dedicated to horses in the Rigveda. What do the hymns of Rigveda tell us about the deities worshipped during the Vedic period? The hymns of the Rigveda depict a pantheon of deities, each representing natural forces. For instance, Agni represents fire, Indra symbolizes the war god and weather deity, Varuna is associated with cosmic order, and Ushas represents dawn. These deities were invoked for protection, prosperity, and well-being, reflecting the importance of natural elements and forces in the Vedic society. How do the descriptions of battles in the Rigveda help historians understand the socio-political environment of the Vedic period? Descriptions of battles in the Rigveda provide insights into the political struggles and conflicts of that time, often fought for land, resources, and cattle. They depict a society with warrior classes and chieftains, suggesting a hierarchical and competitive socio-political environment. This also highlights the importance of martial skills and warfare in maintaining and acquiring territories and resources during the Vedic period. Were the notions of sacrifice and offerings present in the Vedic period? Yes, the notions of sacrifice and offerings were central to the Vedic period. Yajnas or sacrifices were performed to please the deities, and offerings included items like ghee, grains, and sometimes animals. These practices were considered essential to maintain cosmic order and ensure prosperity and well-being. They also reflect the interdependence between humans and deities in the Vedic belief system. Can the geography mentioned in the Rigveda help in understanding the geographical extent of the early Vedic civilization? Absolutely. The geography mentioned in the Rigveda, including references to rivers like the Saraswati and places like the Kurukshetra, helps historians understand the regions inhabited by the early Vedic people. This aids in piecing together the geographical extent and the environmental context of the early Vedic civilization, contributing to a more comprehensive understanding of their lifestyle, culture, and settlements. Does Rigveda offer any insights into the family and societal structures of the Vedic period? Yes, the Rigveda offers insights into the patriarchal and patrilineal family structures of the Vedic period. It portrays a society where the role of the father or the husband was pivotal. Additionally, the emphasis on sons in the Rigveda reflects the importance of male offspring in sustaining family lineage and performing religious duties. It illustrates a society with defined gender roles and familial structures, guided by tradition and religious practices. Were there any trade and economic activities mentioned in the Rigveda? Yes, the Rigveda does mention trade and economic activities. It refers to people described as Vish who were likely to be involved in trade and commerce. The mention of Nishka, a term possibly referring to a form of currency or ornament, also provides a glimpse into economic exchanges and valuables of that period. These references indicate that trade and commerce were integral parts of the Vedic society. Is there evidence of interaction between different communities during the early Vedic period in the Rigveda? The Rigveda does contain evidence suggesting interactions between different communities. There are mentions of conflicts, battles, and alliances with different tribes or janas. These interactions, whether harmonious or confrontational, indicate the existence of a dynamic, multi-tribal environment in the early Vedic period. How important are the Vedas in understanding ancient Indian history, and how are they relevant today? The Vedas are indispensable for understanding ancient Indian history, as they provide invaluable insights into the religious, social, economic, and political aspects of the Vedic civilization. Their relevance today lies in their profound impact on Indian philosophy, religion, and culture. The philosophical concepts, rituals, and values enshrined in the Vedas continue to influence contemporary Indian thought and traditions. Thanks for watching.